Shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praises and glory and honor to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai Bahashem, Rakal Kadash, and the Heavenly Father. True name is Yahweh, and His only begotten Son Bahashem, in the name of Hamashiach Yahweh Shai. Those are the true names in the ancient Paleo Hebrew of the Lash Rakadash of the tongue. I said rock to the elders and apostles, when I say shalom. And this is a sit down lesson of the M.O.T.B news updates as of April the 22nd, 2026, on this Wednesday morning. And as we're going to see more and more, the M.O.T.B, we do M.O.T.B news updates on a daily basis, right along with the elders and apostles for Akim, now so more than ever, as we start to see the fully increasing implementing of the M.O.T.B. Because this is going to be a more and more of a cashless society, and they're going to push forth the digital RFID chip. We're seeing more and more of this Bitcoin, stablecoin, cryptocurrency, even though the United States is going to push forth more and more the fully banning of the central digital currency, which they recently had signed into bill, I'll say 2 months ago. And I believe they're going to, I believe it's from 2031. That's why they chose the alternative to digital currency is with the Bitcoin and stablecoin, and then other 130 plus countries leaning towards the central digital currency. And for the past couple of years, and as of recently, privacy, financial privacy, definitely been a concern among these nations, and definitely the United States. That's a bit of privacy concern when it comes to that, especially with the CDC initiatives for privacy matter, because they look at that as a spying on their privacy, on their financial privacy. So that's why they choose the route of an alternative to the Bitcoin, stablecoin, cryptocurrency as being part of their currency. Because they still got the the petrodollar, the greenback dollar, was the American dollar. Because the currency of the paper dollar, the physical dollar, the paper dollar is still value right now. We're going to see that turning to from uh, from the physical dollar as a value to switch over to an alternative to cashless society. Because we're currently living a increasing uptick of cashless society as it is already. And that's why you see it in all these 130 plus countries. As of right now, I say 134 plus countries leaning towards, the pushing of the, central digital currency, Bitcoin, stablecoin, cryptocurrencies, too. And this is a news article from the block. This was published 1 day ago. It says the Bank of Korea. It says the new chief vows to push central digital currency. Right, he vows to push the central digital currency. And that's what all these other 130 plus countries leaning towards, to push more and more of this CBC plot, the CBC trial, the CBC test, in the final stages of choosing the central digital currency as their currency. Because as we know, their the paper dollar currency is going to be the thing of the past. It's going to lead to this, with this neural link, this nanotechnology, because we already live in a digital device society as it is already, in a cashless society that we're leaning towards that direction. And that's going to implement these smart cities, these 15-minute cities, the digital RFID chip, this neural link nanotechnology brain chip, and the pushing of the digital RFID chip, to buy or sell, especially from a financial perspective, as we're leaning towards those steps and directions. That's what we're going to be seeing more and more of the M.O.T.B news increasing on a day-to-day basis, throughout America and around the world. Just like this current administration, they signed that executive order to have more cashless society and more cashless transactions. So that shows that we're entering more and more of a digital. The future of money is going to be more and more digital as we start to see that push forward, because the paper dollar, as we know it, is going to be the thing of the past. It says the Bank of Korea new chief vows to push central digital currency work with the CBC. It says Washington said he didn't want to pursue the CBC. The Feds lacked authority to issue one. right? So they chose the cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, stablecoin, and all that, and etc. So this is the book of Revelations, chapter 13, verse 16. Because we're living in the book of Revelation, because everything is being revealed in the book of Revelation. Revelation chapter 13, verse 16, and it reads through the Holy Scriptures. It says, "And it calls of all, both small and great, rich and poor, free or bond, to receive a karaka." Right, that's the you look that up in the Blue Letter Bible, Mark. The Mark, which is a karaka. It says, and he calls of all, both small and great. Right, he calls of all, the one that ruled this beast system. He calls of all, both small and great, rich and poor, free or bond, to receive a charagma in their right hand or in their foreheads. Right, to receive a charagma in their right hand or in their foreheads. In your right hand, this neural, this incision, this decision that they want to have underneath your skin, this visual RFID chip that they want to implant under your skin or in your upper part of your body for you to buy yourself. It says, he calls of all, right, this beast system, he calls of all, both small and great, rich and poor, free or bond, to receive a charagma in their right hand or in their foreheads, right, to receive a charagma in their right hand or in their foreheads. Revelation chapter 13, verse 17, it reads, it says, and that no man might buy or sell, say that he hath the charagma, or the name of the beast, or know his name, right? That he might have the mark, which that karagma, or the name of the beast, right? That no man might buy or sell. This is what they're pushing for. And this is going to be implemented throughout the whole planet Earth as we start to see directions and steps towards that. But we can see it in multiple different ways. You're going to have increased alternatives to different payments and as we lean towards those directions. It says that no man might buy or sell, right? So that no man might buy or sell. That's the book of Revelation 13, verse 17. And that no man might buy or sell, right? So a man of a upper class stature to the lower class stature, even if you're rich and poor, free or bond. It says that no man might buy or sell, say that he had the karagma. That no, it says, or the name of the beast, right? This current beast system, which is ruled by a man, or the number of his name. This is Revelations chapter 13, verse 18. It says, here is wisdom, let him have understanding. Count the number of the BAST, for it is a number of a man, right? For it's a number of a man. Under this beast system, which is ruled by this man. For it is number, it says, for it is the number of a man, his number is SIX, 300 squared SIX. Hey, because you're going to have SIX, three triple SIXs on your upper part of your head and your right part of your hand to buy or sell. This is what they're pushing for. So with that, hopefully this sit down lesson was edifying. This was just a very quick sit down lesson that I want to bring out as we continue to do daily update lessons of the M.O.T.B. As we start to see more and more of this cashless society, and it's leaning towards those directions of the pushing of this digital RFID chip that they want to implant inside your body, especially with these smart cities, 15-minute cities. Because it's going to be a time where the book of Second Ezra from the Apocryphal books, it says it's going to be a time where it's going to be a time where a man should desire to go into a city should not be able to. So if you ain't got that digital RFID chip for you to buy or sell, even if you're rich or poor, free or bond, you won't be able to travel to point A to point B. You won't be able to do transactions unless you got that karate of that MARK of the BST of this M.O.T.B. So once again, hopefully this was edifying. This was just a quick sit down lesson of the M.O.T.B news updates as we're entering more and more of a cashless society. And then it's going to lean towards more and more of the increasing of the future of the digital money. The Bitcoin, stablecoin, cryptocurrency, because all your financial information, your personal information, your financial information, your medical information, all this is going to be hard copyless, and it's going to be digital. Because we're living in a digital society and a more and more of a cashless society as that starts to develop and increase. Because this is going to be, as I mentioned again, your financial information, your medical information, your personal information. All this is going to be stored all into one of this visual RFID device that they want to implant inside your body. Even if you're rich and poor, free or bond to buy or sell. And that's when that Revelations 3 verse 10 comes into play. Revelations 14 verse 8. I would say Revelations 14 verse 9 to verse 10. That comes into play as well too. So, so with that, as I mentioned once again, this was just a quick sit down lesson of the M.O.T.B news updates as of April the 22nd, 2026, on this Wednesday morning. So hopefully this was edifying through the spirit, power, grace, and mercy of Yahweh, Yahweh Shai. So with that, I'd like to give all praises and glory and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Wakar Kadash. And the Heavenly Father, true name is Yahweh, and His unbegotten Son, Bahashem, in the name of Hamashiach, Yahweh Shai. Those are the true names in the ancient Paleo Hebrew, the Lashon Kodash, the Holy Tongue. And I say Barakathon to the elders and apostles, Wa'akim, Wa'akwa. Until next time, I would say Kwame Sharala and above all, Shalom.